Good morning, everybody. I am an odd man out in this conference. I was listening to production of different types of chemicals and all that. Of course, I have a chemical history. I am a professor of I have been a chemistry professor, worked in the area of polymer science, worked in the industry, and worked in the research institutions and guiding good number of universities also. So I represent a university, Somaiya Vidyavihar University in Mumbai. That could be representative of any university in the country. If you just look at, of course, in this session, in the coming days, we have representations from Professor Saban Ray, who is our professor of praxis in our university, who was in the industry for several years, and he is a professor of practice in our university now. And we have also a company, Godavari Biorefineries Limited, sugar-based company, chemicals, bioethanol and other chemicals. Dr. Sangeeta Srivastava is also making a presentation. She's our industry representative. And then we have a Dr. Achala Danait. She was former CMD of Clariant Chemicals. Now she is a professor of the industry strategy partnership with our university. So I will be talking, of course, maybe I will, I was just listening to Mr. Narayan. He mentioned about 7 areas: artificial intelligence, sustainability, low emission products and processes, bio-based products, biotechnology, advanced catalysis, electrochemistry, and then he mentioned better trained human resources in these areas. And that is where a university or a higher education institutions come into play. If you just look at industry academy collaboration, of course there is a particular session on the industry academy session, industry academy collaboration. I don't want to speak anything about it right now. But if you just look at industry's contribution to academics in this country, start from Tata Institute in Bangalore. Nowadays it's called Indian Institute of Science, but it is originally known as Tata Institute. Tata started the first research institution in the country, which is Asia's, even now, Asia's the best research institution. Then several institutions, I don't want to mention it. Tata Institute of Fundamental Research in biotechnology, in physics, artificial intelligence, several institutions are Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. That's a premier institution in Bombay, Bangalore, and several other places there are institutions. Then look at Birla. There are Birla Institute of Technology and Sciences, and there are several Birla institutions in higher education. I don't want to mention anything. Industry involvement, I am telling industry involvement. Then, of course, Reliance has started the Geo institution, and then Geo institution as a higher education institution. Then there are several industries coming forward for establishing universities now. In this country, there are over 1,000 universities now. Out of that, 50% are private universities, and out of 50% of these private universities, 35% of these private universities are owned and supported by the private industries. It is definitely a contribution to from the industry to collaborate for academics. And when we look at what are the things we can do, for example, we were mentioning about the research capacity building and R&D development. That was the point he wanted me to speak, but I have come with a prepared speech. I thought of just deviating a little bit away and then saying some of the ground reality. I am also a member of the committee created by the government for the new scheme known as Anusandhan National Research Foundation. 10,000 this year, the finance minister has allocated 10,000 crores. It is called ANRF, Anusandhan National Research Foundation. It is a collaboration, it's a collaboration among government institutions R&D institutions, and then private companies, private industries. This is the three-party collaboration, and the procedure has been established how this work. Research triangle parks, for example, 2 research triangle parks have been established in this country with private, government, and some R&D institute participation. Two such institutions are in the process. 10 more are in the process. A certain set of industries join together, and they join together with a set of institutions, and then maybe academics also involved in that. 2 such things. Such things are happening all over the world. So we, of course, provide capabilities. As a university, we provide capabilities for specific areas, in chemical-related areas. We have a large number of students studying chemistry, chemical engineering, and other branches of engineering. Big university, lot of students are there. We have started industry academia joint taught programs. Professor Sapan is instrumental in starting one of the programs in polymer science and technology. We are also trying to provide capabilities to students, maybe making them aware of the industry fundamentals. What are the industry fundamentals which are necessary? For example, understanding the global petrochemical industry, introduction to petrochemicals, understanding petrochemical feedstocks, introduction to olefin business, ethylene economics, C4 olefins. Of course, this is exploring the proper value chain. So, industry fundamentals. These things can be provided effectively by collaboration with industries and academic institutions. We also collaborate with some of the industries. For example, the Indian polyurethane industry, we collaborate with them, and we have a joint program on training of in the polyurethane technology, supported by industry. Then we have started a very, very significant program for enhancing the women presence in the industry floors. Identifying final year graduate students in chemistry, chemical engineering, and agricultural chemistry across, in the Bombay, the Western Belt, and giving them an opportunity to work with the chemical industries. And this was supported by, of course, I have to acknowledge that program. It is called the BChemie. It is very much in the news. It is supported by BASF. 9 girl students studying in the final year degree in chemistry or chemical engineering or agriculture chemistry, they will be given a 4 months training, fully supported, 4 months training in different chemical industries, and this is to enhance the number of, enhance the women's presence in the chemical industry. And the first batch has come out, everybody has been placed in the industry, everybody, 100% has been placed in the industry. The first graduated, and the second batch is coming. After this intervention, several other industries are approaching institutions, not only us, institutions in the country to do such things. I am attending this conference for the second time, thanks to Praveen Prashant. I think it more than a year ago, we had an interaction. After this last interaction, I got 5 more industries coming into Somaiya Vidyavihar University. What can we do together with your chemistry department, with your polymer science department, with your biotechnology department, with your chemical engineering department, and all that. So we have created a special department headed by, again, a chemist, Dr. Achala Danich, who was in Clarient. She is heading that. She is making a presentation tomorrow. She is making a presentation. So there are a lot of opportunities. And understand until, of course, we have this big target, the very title, to achieve this production target and all that. But we need human resources in plenty. And there are potential human resources in this country. If you look at, probably you may not see just as industry academy participation under that byline, you may not see much things, but a lot of things are happening and lot more things can happen. I mentioned about Anusandhan National Research Foundation. This is an activity where industries, and then academic institutions, a few academic institutions, and then one or two R&D institutes, three-party can join together and establish a mission project. For 5 years. It's ANRF, Anusandhan National Research Foundation. Similarly, semiconductor mission. Look at semiconductor mission. It's a big mission, and they announced by the country. Government has announced. Utilization is far less. Hydrogen or ammonia policy. What the type of money government has announced, type of projects government has announced. Hydrogen and ammonia policy. So, maybe several areas. In agrochemical industry. So, as of now, as a university, we are an 80-year-old institution, converted ourselves into a university 5 years back. I came to this Bombay to convert this into a university. So, but because of our own industry, Bombay's industrial presence, we get a lot of support. We are proactively going to the industry, trying to find out what we can do in this. And so in this case, of course, you are all reading newspapers, you are all quite aware of the higher education system, transformation happening in the higher education system in the country also. Now we have 4-year degree program all over in our universities, like any other foreign universities. Out of this 4 years, one full year, the students can spend in industries or any institutions in India or outside. 1 year, up to 1 year. And this will be full credits will be given. And of course, maybe many of them may don't be open. Maybe 20, maybe even if we just target 10 to 20% of that 4-year degree program students, maybe even 5% if you target them to bring into the industry and work on the floors of the industry. Lot of things can change. There is industry readiness. For example, Dr. Ajala Danet will be talking about our scheme on that. Make them industry ready. This one full year, they will get definitely the degree from the university, but the industry's signature will also particular industry signature will also be there in the certification. Similarly, I have mentioned about the professor of practice. Up to 20% of the faculty in universities and research teaching institutions can be from the industry, professor of practice. Up to 20%. And we, of course, some of the institutions, we identify top people from the industry to head our management institutions and research institutions and teaching institutions. For example, we have the former BASF chief of Dr. Raman Ramachandran as the head of the director and dean of the management institute, which is a 100% placement management institute. So there are a lot of opportunities. The higher education system in this country is also undergoing a big transformation. After the COVID, lot of things have happened to digitization and all that. And foreign universities are coming in a big way to take away our students for 1-year project and all that. And therefore, it is very important to think together. Let us think together what is it that, what we can do, what our individual industries can do in specific areas for sustainability, all these things. When I say these things, in all these areas, for example, artificial intelligence, sustainability, low emission products, bio-based polymers, biotechnology, advanced catalysis, electricity, there are very talented youngsters doing postgraduate training and doing research in this country in good numbers. It is very important to identify them focusedly and then try to interact with them. I am an incorrigible optimist. I sincerely believe that the human resources which are necessary for this country can be developed from this country itself. If you just go outside, I go outside to recruit faculty, we go outside. When we go to the universities, I see the first 70% of many of the premier institutions, the students are from India. The first year they pay big fees. Second year onwards, they do not pay any fees because they get scholarship. They get scholarship. and they are all ready to come. And if you just look at the trained human resources from this country going abroad and working in the maybe 35, 40 years of age, you can see a large number of people working in the industries all over the world. And they are also, I think, in today's setup, they are also ready to come back to India, strengthening our system. We have to just look at all these possibilities. That is the point I wanted to emphasize. Thank you very much for this opportunity.